Hi guys! I feel like I have to take off my sunglasses so that like I actually am speaking to you directly in the eye. This isn't parasocial at all. First of all, I'm home for Easter weekend. And there's nothing different about my appearance as of late. Nothing. Thank you so much, Curology, for sponsoring today's video. I've been feeling good and confident in my skin recently. Forehead check. There was a period of time last year where I was really struggling with some clogged pores, fungal acne, and that was a big downer considering that it was summer. I didn't want to wear that much makeup when I was sweating the most, when I just wanted a fresh face. And thanks to Curology's custom formula, I feel confident and ready for the summer now. This right here is my custom formula. If you didn't know, Curology is so easy that all you have to do is take some photos of your skin, mention some of your skin concerns, send those photos off to Curology, and a dermatology provider will take a look at them and then prescribe you with a personalized formula made for your skin. So with my formula, 1 pump to the skin at night onto clean skin. However, everyone's instructions and formula is going to be different, and that's the beauty of Curology, that it is customized to your skin. And I love Curology because it comes straight to my door, so I don't have to spend my summer months going to the dermatology office. I can literally just get my prescription sent right to my door, and that way I never have to worry about running out either. And I love that your dermatology provider is able to answer any of your questions that you may have, check in on your skin's progress, and also tweak your formula if needed as your skin's needs evolve. I cannot say enough good things about Curology. If you guys want to start your Curology journey right before summer begins, you guys can use my link. Thank you so much, Curology. I wanted to film a video where I'm talking about my fucking hair extensions. Duh. It's more than that. It's more than just hair extensions, okay? It's an extension of my life. You guys are an extension of my life. YouTube is an extension of my life. Anyway, it's Easter weekend. I needed to get the fuck out of my house. I tried to go thrifting because that's what I like to do. I like to go drive like 45 minutes away to go thrifting because normally that's where the best thrifting is, right? Wrong. I'm disappointed every single time that I go thrifting. I'm like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I keep getting disappointed because the only thing that's there is like Shein, and it sucks, and it's probably bought out by all the resellers, which like, get your bag, I guess. I miss it. I miss what it used to be. I miss having fun. I miss that being my pastime. I miss that being a hobby of mine. Consumerism shouldn't be part of my hobbies. I think I need to get more secure hobbies if that's the case. That's not what this video is about, but it did really put me in a really bad mood. I was worried that I was gonna have nothing to say, and now the camera's on. I can't shut the fuck up. First of all, I will be sprinkling in some songs because a lot of you guys have said that you have missed my playlist videos. I miss them too, okay? However, this was not gonna be a playlist video, but I was listening to music and I was like, oh, I can sprinkle it in. There's gonna be a Trump Vance sign. That's has nothing to do with me. I am anti-Trump. Let that be very clear. I think I've made that very clear already. In terms of where am I actually genuinely don't know. I just like driving around this area, even though there's a lot of scary Trump signs, like all the time, but I do like driving around here. I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys have even been in this car with me. My car got stolen by the Kia boys a couple years ago when I lived in Philly. That sucked really bad. So when Sarah Baska's car got stolen and I was watching her entire video series about her stolen car, I really felt for her because I was like, yeah girl, I know what that feels like, except she got her car back. I also got my car back, barely in one piece. Anyway, that's besides the point. A little bit of dirty underwear, a lot of weed on the ground. Why would you waste it? So I got a new car, right? Okay, like, you know, insurance hooked me up. Got a new car. Then I come home one day and I park my car and I was playing with the cats and I just bought them little Stranger Things plushie catnip toys. And I was like, go, fetch Will Byers. And I'm like throwing Will Byers down the hallway. And I hear crash, and the crash doesn't stop. The crash keeps continuing. It is a very long crash. And I was like, oh wow, it's really not stopping. And then I hear an alarm. And then I was like, oh no, I hope that's not my car. It was in fact my car because a SEPTA bus hit my car. God doesn't want me to be driving. Too bad, I don't know if I believe in him. I'm driving back from my little session and I figured, oh my god, I get to show you all the farmland. A nice little break from New York City, to be completely honest. If I didn't make it clear, a SEPTA bus did total my car. I feel like I should make that very clear. Oh my god, my extensions! Oh my god, my hair! Guys, this is not extensions. Let's make that very clear. I don't know why I said my extensions. My hair just grew so fast. Like literally, if you just keep taking biotin, if you're just consistent with your biotin, like people are like, oh, biotin doesn't work, biotin doesn't work, biotin can break you out, biotin isn't like a miracle. Yes, it is. You just have to keep taking it, baby girl. Like, if you keep taking your biotin, your hair is gonna grow at least like 16 inches overnight. You just have to be patient with it, okay? As some of you may know, I went back to Bobbert. I went back to Bob because I thought that's who I needed to be. I have been at Shag for many years now, and I love Shag. I love Shag deeply. However, I do, it's not a secret to anybody, I was going bald. I wasn't going bald, I was just losing a lot of hair all at once from anxiety and stress, which made, oh my God, I know where I am. Oh my God, there was a chicken. Oh my God, there was a chicken. Whenever I see like animals, especially in the country around here, like I think to myself like, oh my God, should I go steal them because maybe they'll have a better life with me? In the fall, I was losing a lot of hair from stress, which makes complete sense. I made a move. The move didn't go well. Some personal family issues happening. It was a lot. It was like a culmination of a lot of stressful things all at once. That's not to say that the stress is over. Oh, the stress is not over, baby girl, okay? Let's make that very clear. Just transparent because it's like, I want you guys to get fucking checked and like, I don't know, this is so crazy. I know you guys can't see me, which is like the craziest part, and especially with what I'm about to talk about. If you have lumps in your boob, go get them checked out. Like literally the amount of girls that I've talked to recently that have been like, I always have lumps in my boob and it's okay, it's totally fine. You know what? Go to the doctor, get checked, because better safe than sorry, which is like the first reason why I'm even home, was to get an ultrasound done on my boobs. Guess what? It doesn't happen that fast. First they have to touch you. Then they're like, okay, we need to send you for an ultrasound. I'm sure I'm fine, I'm sure I'm okay, but better be safe than sorry. Oh my God, what is that? Groundhog. I love the country. I love Pennsylvania. I was actually just about to say that being in Pennsylvania in general makes me really sad. As I was just saying that Pennsylvania makes me feel depressed, I did see a tweet recently that was like, Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia, has evil and sinister energy between it. You can feel it, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can smell and taste the sinister energy. It's depressing to be here. And all the comments were like, yeah, I live there. It's really hard as a spiritual person to live in Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia. And like, I think I know what it is. I think it's literally just the lead in our water. I think that's what it is. My high school water fountains had lead in them. I did not know, and I was drinking a lot of that water. And guess what? That was some of the best tasting water I've ever had in my entire life. I can see how one can be depressed being back here. But then I'm driving through literally miles and miles and miles of just strip malls, and I'm like, why do I have this awful feeling in my tummy? Why do I feel sick to my stomach? Why do I feel so awful? What's going on? And then I get a slushie and everything's okay, which by the way, we should have more slushy places as a society. Like, I hate that you guys have Dutch Bros over on the West Coast. What's up with that? What do we have? Maybe a Sonic once every place in a while. Wawa slushy. But like, that's it. I was losing a lot of hair, but everyone in my life, because they love me so much, they're like, no, Nicole, you're not losing any hair. You're not losing hair. No, you're not bald. Oh my God, you're so pretty. I can be pretty and bald. I can be beautiful and bald. But don't lie to me. If I say I think I'm going bald, then I'm probably going bald. And I should have just trusted my gut. Oh my God, more chickens. They wouldn't even know if I took one. They wouldn't even know. I just saw on a friend's story that they're selling pigeons in New York for $5. First of all, they yearn to be domesticated again, and I'm kind of thinking about it. Anyway, everybody in my life was like, no, Nicole, you're not going bald, you're not going bald. But I see myself every day. I know what my scalp looks like. I knew that my part was widening. I knew it was from stress. I knew it was from something. I got my thyroid checked. I got all of that checked out. Nothing. Like, it was completely fine. But anyway, like I said, everyone was trying to protect me and be nice to me and be like, no, you're not. That's when I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut my hair short. I've had a bob before. I thought it was so cute. I loved bob. People yearn for the bob. Let's bring the bob back because I miss it, and my hair will feel fuller and thicker because it'll be at a blunt cut. I think this is what I need for myself, my hair health, whatever. That's fine. It was a beautiful haircut. It was great. That's awesome. I did not feel like myself, and it fucking sucks because I like to pride myself on not being vain, which some of you may disagree on. Some people may disagree, but I like to pride myself that I don't feel strongly attached to my looks. But the more I think about it, I probably am. And that's okay. I want to shave my head. At one point in my life, I want to shave my head. That's something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do it before my communion when I was a child, and my mother told me no. I wish I had done it by this point, but I haven't. I became very self-conscious having bob. There was nothing wrong with the haircut. I really didn't feel like myself. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would be like, I genuinely don't know who I'm looking at. I don't know who I am, which sucks dick and balls. That's what you're supposed to do. Like when you like see people in a neighborhood, and if it's like you're driving less than like 25 miles per hour, you're supposed to be like, that sucked big time to not recognize who I was, what I looked like anymore. And honestly, it deterred me from wanting to film. If you go through my phone, I like have not taken any photos at all in like the past few months, which it doesn't sound like a fucking big deal, but it took a real shot at like my self-confidence. Not only was I not feeling like myself because I was losing hair, but then I decided to change my look up completely. And I was so used to having like bangs and a shag. I was so used to having bangs and a shag, and then suddenly I miss bob, which is fine. I will not lie, getting some comments that I look like a bloated Gracie Abrams, it does take a toll on you. It does take a toll, and you do start to overanalyze. And as much as I'm like, I don't care about the comments, I don't fucking care, I would look at myself every morning and I would be like, am I a bloated Gracie Abrams? Is that how I'm perceived? Maybe it is. The person who did say that I look like a bloated Gracie Abrams, maybe you should be paying for my extensions. Not actually. I got the thought in my head, what if I get hair extensions? Genuinely, what if I get hair extensions in order to feel a bit more confident about myself, to feel a bit more like myself? Also, one of my biggest insecurities is having finer, thinner hair. I'm insecure about scalp showing. I'm insecure about my hair. I always have been. Ever since I was younger, it has been one of my biggest insecurities. Every single hairstylist I've ever been to has been like, your hair is so fine and so thin. Maybe it didn't look like that on camera, because every other take I would be like, I'd be putting a shit ton of product in it. I would be trying my absolute best. The second that I would go outside after doing my hair, it would fall completely flat. That's just the style of hair I have. My father, he did not give me his genes for beautiful curly hair. All he did was leave, and that sucks. And arm hair, that's it. That's when I got the thought into my head, I think I want to get extensions, which was conflicting for me because I have always kind of been a person who's like, I don't know if I want to make drastic changes to myself, because I understand the upkeep then. Like, for example, like lash extensions. That was something I never wanted to get into, even though my friends were getting into it, because I was like, no, I fear that I'm gonna like how I look too much with them, and that I will not feel like myself if I do not have lash extensions. And so I just never went through with it. At the same time, I have lip filler. Because that was something that I was insecure about for a long time. I haven't gotten lip filler in almost 2 years, but that was something that I was like, I could pay some money for this and change it, and if I really don't like it, I can reverse it. I don't know, it's just like such a complicated time right now when it comes to like procedures. When I was growing up on like fucking tumblr.com, the biggest thing about like feminism was you should allow women to do whatever they want with their bodies and the freedom of choice. And so that is kind of just like what I grew up with and kind of like the mantra that I followed. However, more recently, there's been, I guess, like a deconstruction of what that means and like why we are making those changes and why we feel the need to make those changes in the first place. Like, for example, I got laser hair removal a few years ago. My armpits, I always got crazy rashes and ingrown hairs. And a lot of the comments were like constructive criticism and were like, you don't have to shave in the first place, and then you would never have ingrown hairs to begin with. You know, because of your feeling of your need to shave, that is why you are having these problems, and now you are paying so much money to appeal to the male gaze and be bald. And it's like, I actually really just wanted to get rid of my ingrown hairs, and this was something that I wanted to do for myself, but it did make me question, like, why do I feel the need to shave in the first place? Anyway, that's like a whole different video in of itself, but at least the last thing I'm ever gonna do is to tell people, don't shave, you don't have to fucking do that, do not do that. Because I feel like everybody should be able to make their choice. I feel that to its absolute core. And so other things, for example, like right now there's a lot of controversy about Brooke Schofield getting a blepharoplasty, which is like, she got basically the top chunk of her eyelid, like a slice removed. And people are not loving that because they're like, that's a really big, intense surgery to have. And that's a really intense and invasive thing to do. You're so young. The people who like actually need the surgery are like senior citizens where it's obstructing their eyesight. So it's just interesting that like you felt the need to get that, and you felt the need to fix this thing and like have hood, because you didn't want to have hooded eyes. And then, you know, there's a lot of criticism now about like Olivia Munn and her doing the same procedure and how it makes her look less Asian. It's this valid criticism of like, we are finding new procedures all the time to make ourselves insecure about something that we didn't have to be insecure about in the first place. And I understand that, and I get where that is coming from. So of course, like when I feel the need to want to do something to my looks, I think critically about it. I'm like, why? Why do I feel the need to want to do this? And even though most people would think that like, okay, you're getting hair extensions, that's a little bit different than taking a chunk out of your eyelids, I understand that. It is still something that I think about though. It's still something that I am actively like thinking about my decisions. However, never ever was my intention though to hide that I got hair extensions. Here's the thing that I learned in this process of wanting to get hair extensions. If you guys didn't know, this is my first time having hair extensions. And a lot of people may be thinking to yourself, Nicole, it's literally not that big of a deal. They're literally hair extensions. It's literally not that deep. You don't have to make a whole video about it. However, I did not know how many people had hair extensions before. I really didn't. And I thought there was just something wrong with me. And I was like, oh, clearly I am just a bald-headed person. Like clearly I just don't have a single hair on my head because all these other girls have so much fucking hair. I didn't know that everybody had hair extensions. Yes! Pretty much like every influencer, every celebrity has hair extensions. Olivia Rodrigo, for example, she's often praised for her like beautiful, long, gorgeous hair. It is beautiful, long, and gorgeous. She also did accidentally rip out a hair extension though on stage recently. There's a lot of conversation about Sabrina Carpenter and whether or not she wears extensions or wigs, and so many people defending her and being like, she does not wear extensions, she does not wear wigs, she is not wearing a hair topper. It's like, but what if, so what that she is? Like, why is that such a big deal if someone is doing that? Makes kind of total sense for Sabrina Carpenter to wear wigs or to wear hair toppers or to wear extensions along with wigs, because it's like, yeah, having your hair that blonde and having to curl it like that every single night and style it, yeah, that'll take a toll on your hair. If you could just pop a hairpiece on, why wouldn't you, you know? When I started to feel really self-conscious about my hair and I am in a position where I can afford to get K-tip extensions, I'm like, wait, why wouldn't I do that? Like, actually, why would I not do that? If it's going to make me feel better, and spoiler alert, I have felt so much better since getting them. It has boosted my confidence severely. It's like, why would I not? Why would I not? I just bought a wig recently for somebody who has lost all of their hair. It's a massive self-confidence booster. There's a really great article out there about how every young girl is feeling like they are going bald recently. Highly recommend giving it a read. Is it maybe because we see a lot of content about men losing their hair? Is it possibly a lot of us just feeling really self-conscious or very like finding a new thing to be worried about or always be concerned about? Maybe. I'm not sure what it is at the end of the day, but there are so many people being like, yeah, I'm bald, I'm losing my hair. Granted, could it also be post-COVID hair loss? Yes. But for me, it was extremely validating when I'm getting my hair extensions and I'm working with somebody who specializes in people who have had hair loss and are getting extensions because they had hair loss, and like, this is such a fucking confidence booster for them. I asked, can you tell that I have had hair loss? Is that something that you can tell? And for a specialist in hair loss to be like, yeah, you can tell. Like, I can tell where there is new growth. I can tell where you lost it, which is most commonly in the places that you lose hair from stress or hormones. He was like, yeah, it looks like you either lost hair from like stress or having a baby. And I was like, well, I can promise you I did not have a baby. Many people are not very open though about having hair extensions because it's like looked down upon. That was never ever gonna be my journey. My journey was never gonna be like, guys, I grew this all myself. I don't even think I could get away with it. I don't think I could even possibly get away with it. I guess being on the internet and knowing that I have a lot of young girls viewing me, I think whenever I do anything that has to do with like personal appearance or looks, I do feel like it isn't as personal anymore because I do feel like I have a responsibility of being honest about those things. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that's actually a great thing, and I feel so lucky that I'm even like in a position to do that. But I also see it as an opportunity to talk about something that like so many people are not talking about. And I guess how many people have like hair additives, hair pieces, hair toppers, hair extensions. Had this been a few years ago, like financially, this would not even be a route that I would have been able to take. This has been like the #1 confidence boosting thing that I've done for myself pretty much since I got like lip filler. Everyone in my life has been like, you've been so happy the last week. Like, it is very clear that you are so much happier. First of all, I've never had hair this fucking long. Like, maybe I did, maybe in high school, maybe, but it was, first of all, I've never had this thickness. I've never, ever. And I know to some people are gonna be like, Nicole, that's like a strand of my hair. I don't give a fuck.
I wish it was just us in this bitch, but they can't trust us in this bitch, cause I'm trying to bust nuts in this clutch in my I'm adjusting my bust nuts in this.
I remember there was this one girl in school growing up, and we got compared to each other a lot. And she would always grab my hair and say like, oh my God, all of your hair is like a fourth of mine. And I'd be like, I'm gonna kill myself. And I hated hearing that. And it was just something I was always really, really about. I do take biotin. Transparently, I've also been trying Nutrafol, like the vegan version, for hair growth because that is supposed to help even through like stress related loss and everything. I am trying the Sacred hair and scalp and edge drop. First of all, can I say something? I think that like Beyonce's Sacred hairline is kind of low-key what Kim Kardashian and wishes happened with Skin by Kim, and also her other line, Kim K Cosmetics. Like the aesthetic and the packaging of it all, it is, I think, what she wished for it to be. Anyway, I am using that serum, and everybody has been wanting that serum, like everyone and their mom, and I got my hands on it, bitch. Anyway, so we'll see how it works for me. I would love to one day not have a whole head of extensions because my hair is this short. I would love that. I would love that. I think that would be so much fun. And I'm gonna keep trying to grow my hair out and have it be as healthy as possible, and maybe I'll have less extensions one day. Maybe I'll have my extensions out in a few months. Who knows? Who knows? The world is my oyster, and baby, I'm the pearl. Come touch it. Whatever Addison Rae said. Or I need a cigarette to make me feel better. Whatever she said. I've never had a cigarette in my life, but I did want to talk about my hair. And I want to tell you guys why it grew 16 inches overnight. I know it's crazy. I actually don't know how much longer it is, but it's much longer. You guys can keep the Claro lookalike comments incoming. Don't worry. I really miss those comments. You guys can, you know, make them have a comeback. So fucking embarrassing with my charm tattoo out, my fucking charm shirt. All I brought with me home was like my Easter outfit, which was like, oh, modest. And then also charm hoodie and 2 Claro shirts. Girl, stand up. Nicole, stand up. Nicole, girl, stand up. You got your hair to be longer because you miss getting cold Claro? This is the ultimate Claro shade. I am being serious when I do say that it really did deter me from wanting to film, because I didn't feel good about myself. And I hate that aspect of myself. I wish that I wasn't such a person who did care about my looks, especially when I thought this whole time that I was like, I don't care about looks. I don't care about any of that. I could go bald and I'd be totally fine with my looks. No, I get it. Anyway, I'm feeling like me again. I'm ready to be annoying. I'm defrosting after a really harsh winter in New York City. I'm back in Pennsylvania for another day. I'm gonna enjoy the sunshine. I'm gonna read my little Kindle on the deck, and I'm gonna feel good about myself, because I'm sick of not feeling good about myself. Moral of the story: do not go looking for something new wrong with yourself. The size of your eyelids is fine. Truly, the size of your eyelids is great. I love the size of your eyelids. I think your hooded eyes are beautiful. I don't think that you should change a thing. But if there are some changes that you wish you could make to yourself that are easy fixes, not extremely expensive, isn't necessarily putting you and your health at risk, like by going under the knife and under anesthesia. And if it's gonna make you feel better, I'm a firm believer in like, yeah, let's try it out. From here on out, I could be going balls to the wall. I could be like, hair extensions, go. What's the next thing to make me feel really good about myself? I have no intentions on getting like Botox. I got Botox in my jaw because I was grinding my jaw I was clenching it like fucking crazy. And so now, if people are like, damn bitch, you need that jaw Botox again because that shit is big and meaty, I'm gonna be like, that's fine, because I'm no longer clenching it. This is just the anatomy of my face. I have no intention of changing anything else about myself anytime soon. I think also being a person with OCD, I tend to think very black and white about things. Like I feel the need to be like, well, I either need to be an all natural person. I need to have like nothing. I have to have 0 lash extensions, no hair extensions, no nail extensions. Like I need to be a natural granola ass girl. Like I need to be completely natural and my natural beauty. It is a completely black and white mentality. Like, oh, if I am not that, then I am completely unnatural and people will look down upon me. When in reality, it's like nobody actually gives a fuck what you do with yourself and your body. Granted, some people on the internet will really care, but in the grand scheme of things, really no one cares. I was really scared when I was telling my mom that I wanted hair extensions because I was ready for her to be like, so why did you fucking cut it? I want to be like, Mom!
She's a laughing, giggly, whirly bird. Oh, but she's up there twirling round.
My hairdresser who did my extensions was like, no, it was actually probably a good step to actually cut your hair, because if you were experiencing hair loss and hair thinness, this was probably the best route for you to start fresh. Did not intend to make a whole entire video about my hair, but also I think I would have felt a lot better had someone made a video being like, I have hair extensions, this isn't my real fucking hair, when their hair looks realistic as hell. I think that would have made me feel a lot better and not nearly as terrible about myself and set these like unrealistic expectations for myself as a person. And now I think critically, every single time I see like a beautiful ass girl on Pinterest, I'm like, oh my God, you're Gorgina. You might have hair extensions, and that's fine. That's fine that you have hair extensions, but that does make me feel better because I'm like, okay. Now granted, some people are just blessed, absolutely blessed. Don't even get me fucking started on people who have big ass glutes naturally. Like people are like, I got this in the gym. Yeah, your mom also gave you that genetically. And that was something I felt really insecure about growing up. I busted my ass in the gym, literally. And like, I was like, where is it? Where is it? When will my time come where I will have the fattest ass of all time? I'm literally 17 years old, stressed out about why I don't have a fat ass. Because I sat down on my crush's lap the one time and he told me that my ass was bony. He's a porn star now. I don't want to talk about it. It's a really touchy subject for me. But I always was so hypercritical because nobody wants to say, oh yeah, this is genetics. This is fucking genetics. Everyone wants to equate everything to being hard work, which is awesome. That's great. Like, I'm never gonna get on the internet and be like, this is how you say slim, this is how you say skinny, because genetically, that's just like what I was predisposed to. That's what I was predisposed to. Bless all the girls with the fattest asses, bless all the girls with the fullest hair, bless all the girls with the really long eyelashes and really strong nails. Bless all of you guys. But also, let's be a little bit more honest. Like, this isn't my hair. This is a Ukrainian person's hair. And for that, I am so grateful. Back to regularly scheduled videos coming soon. Hope you guys like my jams. Hope you guys like my hair. And if you don't, that's okay. Don't ever call me a bloated Gracie Abrams again. Her Hourglass ads are all over New York City right now. So I always walk past and I'm like, oh my God, hi twin. Hi twin, hi unbloated twin. I hope that you guys like me talking about this. Let's keep the conversation rolling in the comments. Let's talk about what we have fake. Hey everybody, let's leave a comment what we have fake. What do we have? Extensions? Hair extensions? Nail extensions? Lash extensions? Let's talk about it. This video was supposed to be way more earnest and instead this is what it ended up as. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you leave it a like if you did. Ooh, I know where I am. Also, make sure to leave this video a comment if you want. Make sure to subscribe if you're nasty, if not you're disgusting. Also, make sure to have your bell notifications on so you know every single time I post or start gross. I have a podcast that comes out every other Monday, and on all the off Mondays, it comes out on Patreon. If you guys want more car vlogs, I'll do them. And let me know what you guys want down in the comments down below. I want to hear it. Thank you so much. That kid who was driving was actually 12. Like, I wish I was exaggerating, but he was actually 12 years old. Like, was born in literally 2013.